my peeps, my fams, my jiggity jams. It is Sunday morning. It is the day after I watched Avatar: Way of Water, and this is my righteous review. I'm doing this from my phone because I wasn't able to get in front of the camera and do it afterwards last night. However, I did want to talk about it. There was a lot of things I didn't necessarily discuss after seeing it because I was keeping it to myself until I was able to do this. So yeah, this may not have that many clips of me in it, but it's definitely going to have my personal opinion. I'm going to try to keep it nice and sweet because I'm on my way to work. So yeah, Avatar: Way of Water, righteous review. Let's fucking go. This movie, yo. This fucking movie, man, like, I did not feel for 1 second that it wasn't worth the wait and that, it took too long to come out and, like, it's just gonna feel weird because it's been so long since the first one, so, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Whatever you're thinking about this movie and all that, like, don't even trip.
Don't even trip, dog.
This movie is fucking awesome, man. Like, from down to, like, the story, the character, the visuals, freaking the dialogue, like, everything, man, everything. Like the conflict itself, because, it kind of seems like a really, really big conflict in the first one with, like, the humans. They're trying to destroy the Tree of Souls, and, like, that's their connection to Awa, so they're trying to protect it, and they call on all the other tribes to come and protect it and stuff. By the way, this is a spoiler review. Like, if you haven't seen it already, please don't watch this. But if you have seen it, let's talk about this shit, because, first of all, one of the number one things I was kind of, like, anticipating for the sequel is the humans coming back. And they fucking come back. And they come back with a bang, and it's like, holy shit.
What the fuck?
I was honestly expecting them to come back full force, but not in this capacity, right? And the fucking Colonel dude, he comes back as an avatar with the Colonel's memories. So the Avatar is kind of like its own thing in a way, with the personality and memories of the Colonel. So in my personal opinion, he's a little bit worse than the Colonel, because not only does he have the strength and speed of the actual Na'vi, he's got strategy and tactical, maneuvering and all that shit like a Marine, like a soldier. So there are a lot of situations in the movie, throughout the movie, that are like fucked
Fucked up beyond all recognition.
because there's a whole squad of these military Na'vi now. And it's so fucking cool, like, seeing them do that, and then even more cooler seeing Sully, Natiri, and all their kids in this new, like, landscape, like the new beach water tribe that they're at. And one of the reasons why they have to go out there is because they're fully aware that Quattridge has returned and that he's trying to hunt them down, and so he tries to move out there to escape from them. But of course they obviously eventually end up finding them out there. I dug the whole fact that, like, at the beginning of the movie, because the humans have already returned, like, that was pretty much like the number one thing about the beginning is Jake is narrating the fact that they came back, and a year passes, and that's where the story takes place, is a year later after the humans came back, and they've pretty much occupied, like, a large portion of Pandora at this point. The number one fucking problem is the fact that Earth is officially dying, and they have to make Pandora their new home. Like, that's just it. Like, there's no other way. There's nothing else that they can do for Earth anymore. Pandora is now going to be their new home. And that's a fucking problem. Because at the end of the day, this whole industrialization and technological advancement that these humans are bringing to the table, like, nobody on this planet wants that. And they made it perfectly clear in the first movie when Jake was, trying to adapt to their culture and convince them to move by becoming one of them. He even says it in one of his narrating logs, like,
for a light beer, some blue jeans. There's nothing that we have that they want. Everything they sent me out here to do is a waste of time. They're never gonna leave Home Tree.
And it's true, because if you look at the movie, throughout the entire movie, when they're with, especially when they're with the beach tribe, it's like these people have everything. These people have family and love and food and water and adventure and activities and all this stuff. Like anything you could possibly need to make the days go by, they have it. And then they also have a very strong connection with these water creatures, especially these one types. They're like these like turtle, shrimp, whale looking things. I'm gonna call them shrails because I don't remember what they're actually called in the movie. But they're fucking cool as fuck. They have 2 sons and 2 daughters, and then an adoptive human son who turns out to be the son of the Colonel. Like the Colonel died, obviously, in the first movie and had a son this whole time and got left behind. Like he got left behind on Pandora because, you know, his father died and shit. They couldn't send the baby back, so they kept it. When, you know, the Avatar Colonel comes and attacks and shit, and then they get a hold of Spider, which is the name of the human, and he realizes that it's his son. And so I'm like, oh shit, this is definitely gonna be some kind of like, you know, family versus family, like, you know, this is my son, or this is my son type shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I really don't know what I was expecting from this movie other than the fact that it was just gonna be fucking visually amazing, and the story might be a little good because of what we've been getting with Hollywood lately, just in like movies in general. But then like, you can't sleep on James Cameron, man. You just can't, because he definitely took his sweet ass time making this movie, and it was worth it. You can see exactly the kind of effort he made to have this movie come out the way it did. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. There's nothing else I can say, man. Like, you guys have to watch it. Like, it's so fucking good.
That was totally wicked!
Absolutely 10 out of 10. I'm not even gonna front. I did shrooms. I tripped during this. I microdosed and I fucking tripped and I immersed myself in this movie, and of course the shrooms start kicking in right when one action sequence that carries on for at least 30-40 minutes of the rest of the movie. The rest of the ending of the movie is just one main battle sequence, which I fucking love, because yeah, war isn't just over in like 2.5 seconds. Like, you can't just have like a little mini battle and then like, yeah, the whole war's over. Like, not saying that that's what happened in the first one. The first one's final battle did have a lot of screen time, but this one was way longer. And like, even though the conflict wasn't as big as like, you know, losing the Tree of Souls, this one was more like Quadridge pulling up. Like, he takes Jake Sully's kids and he has them hostage, and Jake and the Water Tribe pull up, and just like the sheer intensity of each member of the tribe, they're like fucking sick of this shit. And like Quadridge and the humans that killed one of those like shrimp whale creatures and left the body there for the Water Tribe to find. And when they find it, you can like feel their sheer like anger and hatred towards the humans for doing that shit. Like, they genuinely couldn't understand why. And Jake is just like, fuck, like the only reason this is happening is because of me. So he does the, you know, the actual like manly thing of giving himself up for everybody. And as he's getting ready to do it, one of the fucking shrimp whale creatures that Jake's son had been like befriending throughout the entire movie like comes and fucking starts fucking everybody up. And I'm like, yes. I was like, that's perfect setup and payoff. They set up several scenes with Jake's son bonding with this creature, and now towards the end of the movie, that creature and him are like best friends, and he fucking saves his life when he's taken hostage. I'm like, yes, we love shit like that. Just the kids, Jake's kids himself, it was definitely like Jake and Neytiri were kind of put in the background most of this movie. Like, not entirely. Like, obviously it's still about them, but like, they're not in it as much as the kids are. But honestly, the kids are fucking great. Jake's son, who befriends the shrimp whale thing, looks more like Jake, and the older son looks more like Neytiri. I thought that was a nice little detail. Their younger daughter looks like more like both of them, obviously. And then you have Kitty, I think is her name, who's their adopted daughter, who's the, you know, weird miracle birth of Grace, Sigourney Weaver's character from the first movie. So apparently when she died from the gunshot wound, whatever, and they tried to put her into her avatar, they tried to put her consciousness into her avatar. It didn't work, but her avatar gave birth to a girl, like a Na'vi girl. And they all thought it was weird. They all were like, her avatar never had any mates. It was kind of like a Grace reincarnate kind of Aowa spirit. bridge kind of vibe that I was getting. Animals are coming up to her and stuff, and like she can lay down in the grass and feel Awa's heartbeat and stuff. Later on in the movie, during the final battle, like they're running away from the humans underwater and like these submarine shits, and like she uses the coral and the sea creatures to, you know, destroy the machines and shit. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. Like she's basically her own Avatar in a way, you know what I'm saying? Because James Cameron coined that term and like purchased the rights to it, so like she can basically be like an official Avatar, master of all elements type bullshit. Sorry, I'm just super excited about this movie. I really think you guys need to watch it. It was definitely worth it. There's nothing else I can say. A solid 10 out of 10, and I can't wait for the next ones. I know that they've been pretty much building up towards these sequels. I think one of the reasons why it took so long for this one to come out is because James Cameron was like working back to back with the others. But it was so good. It was so good. It was so like well paced. And then even the scenes where there's not a lot of action and it's just them talking and them experiencing Pandora and all that, like that, just like you guys have to soak it all in. Like everything from beginning to end is just solid. And I honestly wish this movie did come out a lot sooner, because just the shit that we've been getting lately has been a huge letdown, man, as far as like movies and stories and like characters and all that stuff goes. And like this was probably the best movie I've seen since like Infinity War. Like Infinity War was the last highly anticipated, had to fucking watch it, beginning to end roller coaster ride of emotions and action. Like that was the last thing I saw that I can compare to this movie. So take that how you may want to take it. I fucking loved it. If you loved the first one, you're definitely going to love this one. And yeah, Avatar Way of Water. If you guys already seen it, comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Check back for my next review. I'm going to try to do a 2022 update. I wanted to kind of do that before this one, but shit happens. You already know how it goes. But I did want to get this one done for sure. So 10 out of 10. I love it. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. If you sat through all this review, I love you. This is for you. And peace.